So I have a number of PlayStation fans that are, in a sense, I don't know, maybe perplexed by Xbox's business model. I'll read all y'all's comments in one video, okay? Everybody, we'll have to squeeze all y'all into this video today. I really don't have the time to make multiple videos on these comments. There are so many really interesting things out there that are going on. Maybe you guys can meet me in those videos and we can continue talking about this. So shout out to the IT crowd, Bags, and I think another user named Chris Coleman or something of sort. So let's go ahead and jump into it so that we can kind of get this, get into this quickly. IT Crowd 22 says, if Xbox is better, then why does no one care about Xbox, and why is Xbox hardware sale down by 29%? If Xbox is better, then why did it barely sell 25 million units? Meanwhile, PlayStation is sitting at 75 million units. That's a very good question to a video that I didn't make. I made a video where I said Xbox is better, and I pointed to videos that I talked about in the sense that Xbox is better from a content delivery perspective, where Xbox is bringing more games to the market. In that video, I acknowledged, like everybody will, that most people have built their libraries. They're not going to go to Xbox to go build a library. I play on Steam and Epic Games. Most of my library is on PC. And the second biggest one is PlayStation. There's inherently no benefit for me going to buy an Xbox console to build my library. So Xbox bringing its games to me where I want to play them makes them the better ecosystem because they serve me, the gamer, and they benefit from it financially. So yes, the sense of games and content delivery, Xbox is better. That's the video. So you're asking about hardware sales from a video where we're talking about Xbox being better at software sales. I think we probably need to basically try another video, another conversation in that regard. I hope this helps answer your question. Thanks for watching. Bags, you said, crazy how Xbox spent over $70 billion and still struggles to make what Sony does. And we're out here arguing that Xbox strategy is better. What? Well, I'm glad that you put that out there, but I cited that the reason Xbox's strategy is better is because PlayStation thinks that the strategy has leapfrogged over them and made their pillars outdated. Again, you're wondering whether the strategy is actually better or not because it's not your neck that is on the line. You have not lost your CEO and moved a bunch of executives away from your company, but Sony has actually done that and restructured and shifted. They also have spent about $3+ billion trying to respond by purchasing Bungie, only to discover that they had bought, according to what Colin Moriarty said, a lemon. If all of this is going on within PlayStation's ranks and them going ahead to try to get more live service games out there and canceling some other live service games out there and pretty much over here talking about how there's an impact and a potential for people to shift from their consoles, all this stuff that we weren't supposed to see that we saw in the hack, then it appears to me that PlayStation thinks that this strategy is actually a sound strategy, or in more accurate terms, a threat. Okay? A threat. So again, shout out to you for your, question, because again, you would think I'm probably being malicious in asking the question or making the video, but I seek to actually be as transparent as I possibly can. Their strategy is actually better. They went straight for PlayStation's golden goose, their bread, and took it and changed their own situation. Let me show you how the situation changed. If you don't think it's better, let me show you this. This is what Xbox would make if, look at this number right here, right? Xbox would have been making 30% of this number if Call of Duty was still in Activision's coffers. They would be making a fraction of $450 million on the game. But look what has happened. They now make 1.4625 approximately, based on my numbers that I basically fudged. I didn't pull them out of thin air, I promise. I took 2022's Call of Duty numbers, over 400 million, and 2025's Call of Duty numbers, over 500 million, because there are two games in between. There's a differential, and I just picked 30% of the cut, and I did some analysis with it. If this strategy that moves you from a percentage of 450 million, which is 30%. So basically that'll be like maybe, 120 million-ish to 1.4 billion. If you have to question if that strategy is good, then I don't know what to say. Bags. I mean, if if you were going to be making 140 million and all of a sudden you make a move that puts you at $1.4 billion, then I think you can call that a sound financial strategy. And this is why, like I said, we have to look at this stuff because again, you have to sit there and question it because truly you're wearing rose tinted lenses. I couldn't be bothered. I don't play Call of Duty. I build my library on Steam and PC. All my children, God willing, I want to, basically make sure that they're PC gamers. They're all getting their PCs when they hit certain benchmarks, all the way to the littlest one. They still have a Nintendo Switch, but very soon that Nintendo Switch is going to be replaced by real gaming devices that have accessibilities, basically PCs. And so I couldn't be bothered about this, but the truth is actually very tantamount. So let's put it in front and let's see what we can actually gain and glean from it. Nice? Nice. The other comment has now become a string of threads where even some of the other folk are participating. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Chris Coleman, shout out to you. You said buying third-party publishers that had games already in development does not make Xbox better. PlayStation did the same thing. Let's kind of move aside of that. It's not necessarily buying the third-party games, actually buying critical pieces of the gaming industry and making it themselves their own. That actually makes it much better. Perhaps, let's just call it Monopoly, okay? Let's not call it chess. Let's change the game up. I guess if you put it that way, maybe you'll see it. And while they went ahead and bought it, it moved them to a whole different, position in the market. They basically went from taking scraps of Call of Duty every year to owning Call of Duty and giving PlayStation whatever negotiated fee or price or whatever that PlayStation could actually squeeze out of it while they were trying to acquire Activision Blizzard King. I'd say that makes your, strategy much better if you think about it. And ladies and gentlemen, guess what? All that money that bought Activision Blizzard King, and those of you who are Xbox fans, pay very close attention, right? Listen very carefully. All the money that they used to purchase Activision Blizzard King, cash, by the way, to buy that asset. Do you know how Microsoft acquired most of those, funds in terms of profits? By actually putting its products in multiple ecosystems outside of its own. By taking away the exclusivity approach and serving customers where they were. If you think that there's another way for them to be able to make that kind of money with the Xbox platform, then you have no idea how Microsoft does business. That's why a lot of people are saying this stuff. They said the games that still sell the most will be the same developers with 20 years building their franchises. Minecraft? What? COD, Blizzard, ID, Obsidian, In Exile, blah, 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 blah. You said all sold more on PlayStation before Microsoft bought them. They still sell more on PlayStation. Microsoft just decided that they were going to go ahead and take the 70% cut of that same thing, including 100% cut on that same game, and the 30% cut, the 70% cut on Steam, and the 70% cut anywhere else the game is selling, and put it in their wallet. Monopoly, chess, whatever it is, Xbox is winning in that category. Getting the same games you would have gotten without Microsoft buying the developers. And then you said PlayStation seeks out new talent and brings it. We don't care. All this so-called making PlayStation look like the freaking Red Cross, that is not even, that's not anybody's problem in this whole conversation. So I replied and I said, well, I mean, if you think about it, it's like a swarm. Imagine PlayStation writing 70% checks every 3 months to Xbox. Now do it for all those releases like Elder Scrolls, Call of Duty every year, old ports. I said efforts in foreign countries all you want, but gamers are here to play games. PlayStation cannot even guarantee a roadmap for 3 titles. It's weird. And this is the conversation. Who's actually killing it in content? Xbox is freaking bringing games. Go watch. I just saw a clip, right? They put together all these Xbox influencers and their reactions to the state of play. And Dreamcast guy says, these guys better get their act together because people were saying Xbox better on his stream, on his whatever. And he said Xbox better because they freaking know how to deliver games. PlayStation is not delivering enough games from the first party side. Those of you who bought PlayStations, who swore that it's because of the exclusives, you're now shifting your narrative that, oh, no. You bought them because the third party games were there and you wanted to play them. That's another shift of goalposts that you guys are doing. And remember, as I'm making these videos, we're gathering receipts. Be careful what you're saying and putting out here in public. It will be used when we go back and try to check, the records. You got to be careful, folks. I said I never said anything about them crying because this is what they said. They said PlayStation doesn't pay Xbox 70%. PlayStation takes 30% commission fee from every game sold in their store. It's the same as an art gallery. They pay for the space. The artist displays their work. When it sells, the gallery takes their 30% commission fee. The artist gets the rest, giving people the money they earned for the product sold. And then they said PlayStation was crying pain every time they pay 70% to EA, to Capcom, to Take-Two, to Sega, and other third-party publishers by your logic. I never said anything about crying or pain. However, we know that they're in pain. That's why they commissioned over 10 live service games. Because all these publishers that you just called, right, most of them have live service games. You said Steam and Apple cry in pain too when they have to pay 70% for some reason. Just say you don't know anything about the gaming industry. Okay. All this talk about crying and pain, I decided to basically help you realize that maybe we all know what it is you're trying to maybe not say. I said I never said about crying. The payment is processed by Sony, and they forward the cut to Xbox. I meant to say, technically, physically, and financially, Sony does write that check. Let me go ahead and edit the comment right here, guys. Sorry about it. I meant to say Xbox here. Give me a second and save. And so technically, PlayStation writes that 70% check to them. And then they said this. PlayStation has shown 3 new exclusives in like 4 months. Ghost Intergalactic Saurus. We had Wolverine Death Stranding 2, Venom Standalone, Horizon MMO, Santa Monica, second party exclusive, blah, 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 blah. I said 4 months of what? 4 months of what? 4 months of what? And all of your PlayStation fans are complaining on their state of play. See, let me be very frank. If you are not focused on PlayStation and you are here to complain about Xbox is doing, I welcome you. I'll be making videos, but here's what's going to happen. PlayStation is happy that you're distracted to basically buy more time. But the problem is there's not enough time that they can buy where Xbox is not going to dunk more games on them and put it on Game Pass. Do you understand? In Xbox right now is sitting not just developers, not just studios, but entire publishers. Does that make sense? Bethesda itself can almost outclass 1 year of PlayStation's output any given year. If Bethesda's on point, they can basically almost outclass PlayStation in terms of a given year. Add that to PlayStation's own studios where they make smaller games or in some cases, big AAA games. Then add Activision in there, which any one game in any year outclasses everything PlayStation or almost anybody else can bring. This is not even a contest. This is not even a question. This is a beatdown. Do you understand what I mean? In the case of content, which is games that everybody came here for, which everybody swore that Xbox had none of, Xbox has now basically gone ahead to take the cake. And not only do they have these games, they have options for you to play them. They're not tied to a $70 paradigm. This should be scary to you as a PlayStation player because it is scary to PlayStation themselves. It is. Day and date threat, post-acquisition, Activision, Microsoft will put Activision games on Game Pass day and date. Hey, by all means, deny reality. I'm not here to convince you, actually. No. Why? I think some people think I'm here to convince them. I really am not good at convincing people. I'm not. But I like keeping receipts. So anyways, I thought I'd answer these questions. I thought I'd just go ahead and talk about them, in light of everything that's gone on. And, if you guys like console sales, eat console sales. Okay? If you as a gamer prefer console sales than gaming or games, by all means, embrace console sales, eat it, enjoy it, right? Maybe it gives you value that the console that you're on, more people are buying it, and that's where value is for you. By all means, thumbs up to you. But I couldn't, I couldn't just, in a sense, think about how different it will be if you actually enjoyed or considered anticipating games from PlayStation. Imagine how PlayStation would look if that's the expectation that was held, for them as a platform and a publisher of games. Thanks for watching. Peace out.